Jasmine stood at the window of the small Florida condo, watching the golden late afternoon sun melt into the palm-fringed horizon. Her hand rested gently on her belly. The curve beneath her blouse was unmistakable now, a secret growing, blooming, ready. The warm Gulf breeze drifted in through the open sliding door, carrying with it the faint scent of salt and possibility. She remembered the day she told Gino. He had arrived at Matt's house, Matt being the man she now loved, whose name she barely dared whisper aloud. Gino had believed they were there to talk, to salvage something. Instead, Jasmine dropped 2 bombs. She was pregnant, and she was leaving him. The surprise had frozen him in place, his shock a mirror of her own internal tremor. "Matt and I," she had said through tears, "we're going to have a baby." Gino sat silent. The scene was filmed for the cameras, yes, but the emotions were brutally real. She felt a pang of guilt, for him, for the life they once promised each other. But guilt couldn't undo the truth of her heart. She had loved him, in her way, but her heart had changed. The dream she once shared with Gino had started to feel like someone else's, and the man she believed she could build a future with was Matt. Flashback. When Jasmine and Gino first met, it felt like destiny. She, bright-eyed and hopeful, leaving Panama for Michigan. He, a man set in his ways, but open to the adventure. On television they laughed, they struggled. Audiences watched as Jasmine fought homesickness, language barriers, cold winters, and cultural gaps. They married with ceremony in early 2024. Soon after, cracks began. Intimacy waned, communication faltered. Gino admitted to feeling lonely. Jasmine admitted to wanting more. One evening, over wine in a dim bar, Matt was with her. Jasmine ordered hot chocolate. The camera caught her eyes, the way she watched Matt instead of her drink. It was subtle, almost invisible, but it seeded everything. Simmerblend. She told herself it was just a friendship, a comfort. But comfort turned to closeness, closeness to longing, and longing to love. Back in the present, Jasmine gently slid onto the couch, the soft hum of the air conditioning a lullaby for a new life. She thought of the tiny heartbeat inside her, like a secret drum summoning her courage. The baby was not Gino's. She had to be honest, and the world would talk. The cameras would capture. There would be judgment. There would be whispers. But she had made her choice. She reached for her phone and paused. Should she text Gino again? She felt a flicker of responsibility. But they had done their talking. The paper had published divorce papers, a formal service by publication, because she couldn't reach him otherwise. Showbiz cheat sheet. In her mind, she replayed the moment she told Matt. His hand on top of hers, his shock, his joy, his hesitation. "Are you sure?" he had asked, and she had nodded. "Yes, I am." He kissed her forehead. They were going to move to Florida. Build something new. Together. Night came. Jefferson lights glowed over the water outside. Jasmine could barely sleep. Thoughts of Gino's face, Matt's promise, the baby's future, they all collided in a whirlpool of anticipation and fear. If the baby knew anything yet, if the baby could speak, it would say, "What have you done?" But she knew the answer. She had found herself. Weeks later, Jordan, her best friend from Panama, came to visit in the condo. Jordan hugged her tightly, then gently touched the baby bump. "You're beautiful," Jordan said, "and brave." Jasmine smiled, tears moistening her eyes. "Brave," she repeated. She looked out at the dark sea, gently lapping the shore. "Because for once, I am choosing me." Jordan did not ask about Gino. She didn't need to. It was enough that Jasmine was here, alive to possibility. They sat on the balcony, chatting of baby names and nursery plans. Matt popped in, carrying 2 takeout containers. He set them down and wrapped his arms around both women. Moments like that, small, quiet, they anchored her. Back in Michigan, Gino was watching footage of the tell-all. He watched Jasmine walk away from him, heard her voice say, "War is over." He clenched his fists. He felt betrayed. He felt hurt. He felt lost. He had believed she loved him. And then he realized, perhaps she never had in the way he needed. He replayed their early days, the laughter, the new house hunts, the talks of children. They had planned it together, but sometimes planning isn't enough. Sometimes love changes shape, and you don't see it until you're already out of time. Jasmine lay awake one night, the condo lights dimmed, the air hushed. She placed a hand on her belly and spoke softly to the unborn child. "You're going to have 2 big brothers," she said, thinking of her sons. "And you're going to have a father who loves you, Matt, and a mama who fought for you." She paused. "And although life didn't turn out the way I expected with Gino, it led me to you." She felt a flutter, a quiet, soft inside. She smiled. In the weeks before giving birth, the tabloids buzzed. Headlines shouted, "Pregnant Jasmine, but not by Gino." Her social media posts shifted, palm trees, bare feet, baby shoes. People pointed out Gino's absence in her posts. They speculated, they judged. Jasmine ignored the noise. She focused on the kicks, the hospital bags, the nursery wall painted soft yellow. She prepared for the moment when the child entered the world, because for the first time, she wasn't only acting for the cameras. This was her story. And then the day came. Sunlight filtered into the hospital room. Jasmine squeezed Matt's hand. She heard the doctor count down. She felt the contraction. She heard the cry. She smelled the newness. A girl, pink-wrapped, soft-eyed, her name, Maddie. Matt kissed Jasmine's forehead. "She's perfect," he whispered. Jasmine, mother of 3 now, held the baby close. Tears ran freely. Gratitude washed over her. They took the photo together. Jasmine, Matt, baby Maddie. A family portrait. Complicated, unconventional, but true. In that moment, Jasmine knew she had chosen love. She had chosen herself, and she had chosen a new life. Later, Gino saw the photo. He heard the announcement. He felt the sting, but he also felt a strange relief. The weight he had carried, waiting for a reconciliation that would never come, started to lift. In his own quiet way, he wished them well, not because he was okay with everything, but because he was moving forward too. Months passed. Jasmine walked along Florida's beaches with Maddie in a stroller, her sons by her side, Matt walking strong beside her. The open sea ahead of them promised fresh start. She thought of the headline that changed everything. She thought of the way people would always talk about who the father was, but she knew the real story. The father was the one who said yes to standing by her. The father was the one in Florida who kissed the tiny head and promised, "We'll do this together." And Gino? He was the chapter that ended so she could start this one. As the waves rolled in and the sun dipped into the horizon, Jasmine smiled. Because for the first time in a long time, she was exactly where she needed to be.